So we're really excited. We're going off to do a part of the Wild Atlantic Way, to be going back next year to do the next bit, but we're so excited, and we're going to be stopping off first in Cheltenham, as often we do, to see my folks, and then having a night in the Brecon Beacons before we catch the ferry into Rosslare. We'll catch you on the road.
The Wild Atlantic Way is 1,600 miles in length, and it's one of the longest defined coastal routes in the world. So because it's so long, we're going to do it in two parts. This tour is going to take us from Kinsale to Galway. But first, we have to get there. We decided it would be a good idea to have one night stay over in the Brecon Beacons before catching our ferry the following day. So we booked a room at the White House Country Hotel, which would then give us a gentle 2-hour ride the following morning to catch the ferry.
This is Brian, he's a co-owner of this amazing place.
White House Lounge, we call it now. We changed the name, yeah.
And it's a brilliant, quirky, unique little place we found in Sennybridge, in the Brecon Beacons, and we think it's a very biker-friendly.
Say we welcome everyone to the White House, and we do get a lot of bikers through. We're on one of the main routes through Mid-Wales, the A40, which we see a lot of bikers. Always welcome to have you along, and we'd always give you a warm welcome and look after.
So the adventure begins. We've had a lovely evening at the White House Lounge in Sennybridge, or the Brecon Beacons, and now we're off to catch the ferry for our start of our great Wild Atlantic Way adventure. We actually weren't intending to do a review of Adrian and Brian's lovely hotel, as our trip hadn't officially started, but we didn't feel we could begin our trip without recommending the White House Lounge, if you find yourself in the Brecon Beacons.
Well, maybe it was fate when you walked in the door. I could have sworn I've seen your face before. So glad that you said hi, 'cause I was way too shy. What would have happened if you just had passed me by the night? We keep on drinking, keep on wishing for someone out there to hold. All those little moments, the bites you didn't catch me looking over your shoulder, just at the right time. Those little moments, all that me you only God knew about. All those little moments. Well, maybe it was fate or a part of his plan. Giving me you was like giving me another chance. Thank God that you said hi, 'cause I was way too shy. What would have happened if you just had passed me by the night? We keep on drinking, keep on wishing for someone out there to love. All those little moments, the bites you didn't catch me looking over your shoulder, just at the right time. Those little moments, all that me you only God knew about. All those little moments. We keep on drinking, we keep on wishing. 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 All those little moments, the bites you didn't catch me.
And so, after a pleasant and eventful 3.5-hour ferry crossing, we arrive in Rosslare. turned out our B&B was much closer than we thought. When we arrived, it was just about beer o'clock, so we dropped our stuff and went in search of a good pint and some good food.
Brilliant. And that.
That's your first pint again.
Look at that.
Cheers. So this is Guinness in
First
Ireland.
Guinness in Ireland.
It's fantastic. Seafood chowder, which is great.
It was amazing. Yeah.
And now you're on the tangy telly. And I'm going to have catch of the day, which is pan-fried hake. Perfect. Well, we just arrived in Ireland, folks, at the start of our Wild Atlantic Way adventure. We got at the ferry, arrived at about 4:30, checked into our B&B, and just gone for a fantastic meal, a couple of pints of brilliant Guinness, and here we are. So, why don't we go and check out the Ferryport House Inn? That's where we're staying tonight. It's not bad, it's a little bit like a Premier Inn or something. Nice little bathroom and shower, double and a single bed, storage for our gear. So what do you think?
I think it's great. It's bright and spacious. Loads of room for our stuff. It's a bit like a Premier Inn.
Yeah.
It's kind of clean and functional, but that's brilliant. It's a little bit of a trek. What, 15 minutes? They don't do any food the early part of the week, so
Yeah, it's a Wednesday. It's now
so
Tuesday.
We walked down to the
Kilrain pub, which was fantastic.
So we walked to the Kilrain pub, which was, the food was amazing, reasonably priced, great choice, great quality of food, really lovely. 15-minute walk? So we actually walked our calories off when we came back. Yeah, I think a really good place. If you've had a long day like we have, really great place to start.
You can't get closer to the port because we are literally about 2 minutes. 2 minutes ride from the ferry port.
And there's a lot of bikers here as well, so clearly it's a good place to.
So if you're arriving late or you're setting off early, this is a good place to stay.
And we can see the bikes from the window.
And we can see the bikes from the window. Anyway, we'll check in after breakfast.
So what would be our rating for the Ferryport House B&B?
The Ferryport Inn is only a 2-minute ride from the ferry. We booked it as the boat didn't arrive into Rosslare until after 4 o'clock, and we knew we wouldn't want a long ride when we arrived. There were a few bikers and car drivers there who'd booked very early ferry the following morning, so for its proximity to the port it was ideal and would have scored a 5 for its location. It is, however, in an area where during the early part of the week there is very little in the way of amenities. There is a restaurant, but it too was only open between Wednesday and Sunday lunchtime, and arriving on a Tuesday we only managed to find one eatery, a pub, the Kilrain Inn, which is about a 15-minute walk along the main N25. Breakfast wasn't included in the price, but it was available, and the very welcoming and helpful receptionist will take your order for cooked or continental on arrival. Our room reminded us a little bit of the Premier Inn. It was a reasonable size, clean and functional, with a good-sized bathroom. The shower was old and a bit lime-scaled up, so as a result did a great job spraying everything from the ceiling to the loo. But the bed was comfortable and there was a reasonable amount of storage. There's plenty of flat and gravel-free parking outside, with a patch of grass and a hedgerow separating the parking area from the main road. It isn't especially secure, so make sure you take a decent lock with you. Our conclusion, a convenient stopover if you're either arriving late or starting early. But unless you want a brisk walk for a pub dinner at the Kilrain, which was incidentally very good, you might want to choose a day later in the week.
Well, good morning, folks. Welcome to a bright but slightly breezy Rosslare. Sun's coming out. We had a very pleasant night last night at the Ferryport B&B. I went to a local pub for a fantastic meal. Today we are off to Kinsale, which is the official start of the Wild Atlantic Way. But first, we're going to take a slight detour and check out Blarney Castle, home of the Blarney Stone. I doubt whether I'm going to be leaning over backwards to kiss the Blarney Stone, but anyway, we'll check in when we get on the road.
To be honest, Blarney Castle was never on our original route until Sue mentioned that it wasn't too far away from Kinsale and she'd been there many years before and it was well worth a visit.
It must be over 30 years since I visited Blarney Castle. I remember watching people waiting to hang backwards several feet above the ground and frankly thinking they were bonkers. This time, I was going to be one of those crazy people.
So, we are at Blarney Castle.
And we're about to go find a Blarney Stone.
You won't find me kissing any dodgy stones. Let's go see if we can find the stone.
Blarney Castle is a medieval stronghold believed to date back to around 1200. But obviously it's most famous for being the home of the Blarney Stone. And according to legend, it's said that if you kiss the Blarney Stone, you'll be given the gift of the gab and eloquence. So clearly, I won't be needing any of that. It's very popular, and for more than 200 years, tourists, statesmen and women, stars of the silver screen and more have made the pilgrimage up the steps to kiss the Blarney Stone. Even Winston Churchill did it when he was Lord of the Admiralty in 1912. For some reason, you have to lean over backwards to do this ritual, but the old-fashioned way was to hold people's ankles and then hang them upside down. But this practice came to an end when a traveller slipped free from his friend's grasp and hurtled down to his death.
Okay.
Come on, not a big slobbery one, that.
Did you hear that? Thank you very much. Ah, thank you.
Right, you've got the gift of eloquence now. There you have it. Blarney Stone from below.
done it? Are you more eloquent now? Have you got the gift of the gab?
Absolutely.
Yeah, that was worth it, wasn't it? That was well
I
worth
didn't need anything to help me talk more.
it. Well, there you have it, from the horse's mouth. Well, here we are, folks, after a great ride, and look at the weather. The sun's turned out now, 18 degrees, lovely, and we've just arrived for our destination of today, which is the Blind Gate Bed and Breakfast in Kinsale. And we had a quick look at it. It looks fantastic. Anyway, let's go and check out the room, see what you think. Well, look at this. Spotless. Clean. Oh, nice big double bed. Let's check out the bathroom. Yeah. Tub and shower. And look at the view of two stunning bikes down there. You can just spot it. First impressions. What do you think?
It's really pretty. It's the whole place is lovely actually. It looks like it's been newly furbished. It's just bright and spacious, and the room's lovely. And it's really good that you can look out over the back. Apparently, 5 minutes walk into the main area where there's lots of pubs and restaurants. So
we're going to check that out later on. But it looks like a really top quality B&B. But we'll let you know in due course. Right, we'll see you later. Kinsale is often referred to as the gourmet capital of Ireland.
We are in Kinsale, down by the harbour, as you can see. Tide's out, the sun's out. I've got shorts on. That's how good it is.
And it's famous for its scenic harbour and yachting marina, and also the quaint, colourful, narrow streets, and was recently voted one of Ireland's most beautiful towns. So having established where we're going to have dinner that night and sample the local Guinness, it was time to head back and get changed.
Well, it's that time again, folks. Although because we're in Kinsale in Ireland, it's not beer o'clock at all. It's Guinness o'clock. Guinness o'clock tonight. So let's go and find one.
You can't escape it. There's just something really special about drinking Guinness in Ireland. It looks different and it tastes different. Warning, the following scene contains medical references. Please consult your GP before taking any action. People who know me realise, of course, that I only drink Guinness for medicinal purposes. And now it turns out that the slogan "Guinness is good for you" is actually backed up by scientific evidence. According to a 2003 study, Guinness specifically contains antioxidants that could protect drinkers from heart attacks, reduce cataracts, and even prevent impotence when consumed in moderation. And that's the only reason I drink Guinness. What do you have in there?
this is seafood chowder.
Seafood chowder again. Yummy. What have we got here? We've got seafood au gratin and chips, and this is pan-fried duck breast. Wow. One drawback of this B&B is it's a long hike back up a hill. After a seafood chowder, pan-fried duck breast, several Guinnesses and a glass of wine. So be warned, if you're going to come here, you're going to stay at this B&B, which is a brilliant B&B.
You walk off your meal on the way home.
Look at that.
It's nice, isn't it?
Smoked salmon and scrambled eggs. I'm going for a very minimalist one here. So if you're visiting Kinsale, is it worth staying at the Blindgate House B&B?
Blindgate House is a modern and bright B&B in the little harbour town of Kinsale. Our room was number 7 and was a good size and bright, with a very large comfortable bed, flat screen TV and a small wardrobe and tea and coffee making facilities. The ensuite was a good size and had a tub as well as a shower. It was on the first floor and overlooked the car park, so we could see our bikes at all times. The B&B doesn't offer evening meals, but there are lots of pubs, cafes and restaurants within a few minutes walk. Although it is worth noting, particularly for anybody with mobility problems, that Blindgate House is located on a very steep road. It boasts a 5-minute walk to the main centre on booking.com. True on the way down, maybe a tad longer on the way back, uphill after a few Guinnesses. We were greeted on arrival and the lady provided bottled water and kindly marked a local map with recommended eateries. It wasn't a cheap place to stay, but brekkie was included and was lovely. And there is a good-sized gravel car park, which is pretty secure. We describe Blangate House as an upmarket B&B, and all in all, a very pleasant stay.
Okay, we're here, folks, the beginning, the official beginning of the Wild Atlantic Way.
Here we are, we've met Michael down here, who watches our channel.